Hello, good people. This is Sherry with 10 reasons why you haven't started selling your jewelry and what's holding you back. So let's get into it. My name is Sherry, and I am the owner and designer for Sherika Originals Handcrafted Gifts, where we help you create jewelry for those who are deliberately different. Have you been making jewelry for a while and you make beautiful jewelry, people compliment you on it and everything, but you haven't turned that hobby into a hustle? Well, if that's you, this video is for you. Today we're going to talk about 10 reasons that I hear all the time, and I'm going to give you the truth behind each one of these reasons why you're standing back from selling your jewelry. And by the end, you're going to know that it's your time to get into motion. It's your time to get off the sidelines. All right, let's go. One of the first reasons that people give for not selling their jewelry, even though they're making lots of it, is, I don't have time. And some of that's believable, but everybody's busy, especially retired creators who are juggling family, church, travel, and all the things. I know you are busier now than ever before, but Hobby to Hustle fits around your schedule. It's self-paced. So we have short videos, a flexible pace, and very simple action steps. So you can work on your jewelry, you can hang out with your grandkids, you can do all of that, but you can still fit in the Hobby to Hustle modules. Another thing that I hear people say about why they can't really get into learning to sell their jewelry is that I'm not tech savvy. And you know what? You're not the only one. I am not the techiest person you've ever seen. But you know what? We have to learn. We have to learn because that's the world that we're living in. And in Hobby to Hustle, everything is step by step. So, and whenever you get stuck, Taiska and I are here to help you and get you going. So, and many of you post on Facebook. I mean, doing this is no more difficult than posting on Facebook. All right. Reason number 3. I've tried selling before and it didn't work. And I've been in that same place because in the beginning you make mistakes because you're trying to see what works, and some things work and some things don't. But that's not a reason to stop. And that's what happens sometimes. You try something and you say, oh, this doesn't work. This isn't for me. In Hobby to Hustle, you learn what actually makes your jewelry sell. Your pricing, your storytelling, your presentation. And really, it's not your creativity a lot of times that you feel like people are rejecting. It might be your strategy. So what we help you do is to sell smarter, not harder. Another thing that I hear from people is, I'm not sure who would buy my jewelry. And every one of us, we have that doubt at first. We know people will compliment you, but you say, oh, yeah, they say they like it, but will they pay money for it? That's the question. But you know what? There is a buyer for every style. And you just need to find your people. You need to find your audience. In Hobby to Hustle, we teach you how to make people see your jewelry as valuable and as special. And everybody's not your customer, but we can help you find your people. Oh, this is a big one. This is a big one. I don't want to feel salesy. I don't want to be a salesperson. But you know what? If you look around, everybody's selling something. Walmart's selling you something. Best Buy is selling you something. The grocery store is selling you something. That's the only way we get things, is that somebody sells it to us. So we have to get over that thing about not wanting to sell and, feeling like it's a negative thing. It's a part of life. And we don't sell. What we do is we share our passion. We share our story with people. That's what people buy. People buy your story. People buy you. You're going to put, whatever you do, you're going to put your own spin on it. And that's what people buy. Selling is about connection, not pressure. No, we don't want to pressure. If somebody doesn't want what we have, we are moving on to the next person or the next situation. Because, like I already said, everything isn't for everybody. But there are people who are looking for what you have. So you don't want to miss out because you didn't present them what they needed. They may not even know that they need it until you showed it to them. So don't worry about, feeling like a salesperson. I mean, you're proud of what you have. You're proud of what you make. So why not share it with people? When you show up authentically, your pieces are going to sell themselves. Now, some people say, it's too late. It's too late for me to start doing that, But I always say it is never too late. As long as you are breathing and moving around, it's never too late. Because doing this is going to bring you joy. Doing this is going to bring other people joy. And you're a creative spirit, and you're going to be creative until you go to meet your maker, because creativity does not expire. So I don't think it's ever too late. That's my opinion. I just don't think it's ever too late. I think that's just an excuse that we want to give ourselves to make ourselves feel better. Another thing that I've heard about why people don't want to get started with hobby to hustle or get started selling their jewelry is, I don't have a lot of fancy tools and supplies. But you know what? We start with what we have. I started with what I had. I mean, I would go to Michael's and look, and I would tell my daughter, because I didn't have very much money. I didn't have any money really to be spending on supplies. But I would tell my daughter, looking is free. And one day I saw some materials that didn't cost very much, and I really didn't even know what it was. But I asked the lady, what do people do with it? And she told me, and I got a few little pieces of the material and went home and worked on it and started wearing my jewelry. And people were saying, wow, where did you get that? Oh, I want that. So, it doesn't take much. You start with what you have. And when you open your eyes, you look around, you see all kinds of materials that you can use to make jewelry. So just start with what you have and build from there. Another excuse that we give ourselves is, I'm nervous about putting myself out there. This is just not what I do. And that is normal. The fear of getting out there and presenting what you have to the public is a real fear. But you know what? Feel the fear and do it anyway. I heard somebody say one time, do it scared. And in my situation, I've done a lot of things where I was scared to death to do it, but it turned out great. Starting my YouTube channel, I was scared. I said, oh gosh, nobody's going to watch my videos. Another time, starting to do my Tuesday live subscriber chat. I said, oh gosh, suppose nobody comes. People came from everywhere. People come from all kind of countries and stuff. But I was so scared. Suppose I had let that stop me from doing it. We've got lots of testimonies from people who feel like between my YouTube videos and our Tuesday lives that their businesses have been helped, their jewelry making has been helped, and it's just been a blessing. And for me, it's been a blessing to share what I know and share what I've learned. It just really gives me joy. And you'll have that same joy. So don't let being nervous stop you. Another thing that I hear is that I don't know where to start. And, that's one of the reasons that I'm doing Hobby to Hustle, because in the beginning, I really didn't know where to start. And I made a lot of mistakes. But you can learn from my experience and from my mistakes. And in Hobby to Hustle, we have a community where we learn from each other, because we all have some special knowledge that we can share and help other people. And I heard a guy say, the way to get what you want in life is to help enough people get what they want. So that's my mission. That is my mission. And we kind of give you a roadmap. We give you a step-by-step path. And this Hobby to Hustle is a basic course. So of course there's other information that you're going to need, but we help you to get the basics and you can build from there. Somebody else said, hey, I can learn everything I need to know from YouTube University. And you can get a lot of information from YouTube. I mean, almost everything that you need is there. But you know what? It's pieces here, pieces there. In Hobby to Hustle, we put it all together. So YouTube is random, but in my course, Hobby to Hustle, you have structure, you have feedback, you have accountability, you have a community. So it's a full system. It's not just little pieces and clips and that kind of thing. You have a great hobby, and after all this time, it's time for your hobby to pay you back. So every one of the reasons that I've given you comes from fear. It comes from that old enemy of us, fear. You have the creativity. Hobby to Hustle gives you the confidence, the clarity, and the tools you need to go to the next step with your hobby, and that is to go make it a hustle. It won't hurt to have a few extra dollars to do some things that you want to do, to help with the grandkids, or take a little trip or something. I'm not saying that we're going to help you become a millionaire, but I am saying that we're going to help you make some money in your business. So if you're ready to go from making jewelry for fun to earning some income, join me inside the Hobby to Hustle eCourse. I'll be waiting for you. And yes, bring your favorite earrings, because we celebrate everything around here. The link to Hobby to Hustle will be in the description, and you may see a little shop button on the screen. You can click that and go into Hobby to Hustle. We're going to be closing the cart on the 31st, so get in now, because it's going to be closed. We're going to work with the people that we have, and then we're going to come out of this in a little while with lots of testimonies. All right. And this is the lowest price that you're going to see it at. That's another reason to go ahead and come in now. And we are steadily improving and adding to what we have. I don't know what I need to say to convince you that now is the time for you to take some action. All right, good people. This is Sherry, owner and designer for Sherika Originals Handcrafted Gifts, where we help you create jewelry for those who are deliberately different. This is Sherry saying, as always, be blessed.